Hey guys, it's me, Rich. Something wild is unfolding, and you're about to hear all about it. You're watching powerful cracks appear in Ilhan Omar's long-denied scandal, and what you'll soon find out is far bigger than political gossip. President Trump is calling her out again. DHS insiders say they have paperwork proving she married her brother, and even her own community is now turning against her. Everything's going bad for this woman. This video breaks down the claims, the evidence, the fraud cases, and what this means for the country. What you're about to learn could change how you see Washington forever. Let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back to RPW Media, where real Americans get the real story. Look, if you like our videos already and you haven't done so, you should become a subscriber to the channel. You can hit the notification bell and smack that like button because it helps us get our message out to a lot more people, and you'll be notified every time we come out with a new video. And thank you. Now, imagine hearing that a sitting congresswoman who lectures you about morality every day may have married her own brother to get into the United States. Sounds insane, right? But DHS insiders are saying that they have actual paperwork backing it up. Something is shifting, and the pressure around Ilhan Omar is starting to feel like the walls are closing in. We did a story last week about Ilhan Omar's community getting caught up in one of the biggest COVID fraud crimes in history. I think they have 78 defendants now. Something big is about to break, and it won't be pretty. Even more shocking is who's turning on her. President Trump is calling her out again, sure, but so are members of her own Minnesota Somali community, the same people who helped send her to D.C. That kind of change doesn't happen by accident. Sometimes people stay quiet until they can't anymore, and that moment seems to be right now for Omar. President Trump brought this back up during a press conference on Air Force One. He criticized foreign nationals who move here and then lecture Americans on how to run the country without wanting to assimilate. He referenced Somalia, pointed at Omar, and said that she came here by marrying her brother. And then he added, quote, "If the claim is true, she should not be in Congress and should be removed from the country." And he's not pulling any punches anymore. He's right. If this story is true, Omar didn't just break rules. She broke immigration laws, lied to government, and lied to a court. And she should be expelled, denaturalized, and deported. This isn't political. It's criminal. Now, from what I actually heard and read years ago, she didn't marry her brother to get into the country because she came into the country, I think she was 12 years old. And she came from Kenya, where her family had to flee from Somalia because there was a war going on. Now, the war was because the regular people got tired of the communists and they started taking over the government in a revolution. Ilhan Omar's family were the communists that had to flee for their lives. So she came here with her family when she was 12. What I read was that she married her brother in order to help him stay in the country. That's the story I heard. Now, the allegation didn't just start yesterday. It goes back to 2016 when an anonymous Somali American posted it. Omar had married Ahmed Almi in 2009. Almi was a British citizen, and he went to the University of North Dakota State. Everything about his background is pretty foggy. Their marriage made no sense. It ended quickly. And then Almi posted on Instagram calling Omar's newborn daughter to her new husband his niece. Husbands usually don't say things like that. Here's where it gets tricky, though. There is no official public proof except for that post. There's a marriage certificate, but no birth certificate connecting them. No immigration file linking them as siblings. And strangely, major news outlets seem allergic to asking the obvious questions. If it was a Republican, you know that we'd already know the story by now. But DHS insiders insist they have the evidence proving Almi is her brother. Nothing publicly released yet, but the existence of that claim alone has the political world on edge. Trump is now using this entire situation to pull his larger immigration plan. He wants to stop migration from third world countries and reassess green cards from 19 high-risk nations, including Somalia. Considering what just happened in D.C., you can see why voters are backing him. Two West Virginia National Guard members, remember, they were shot by an Afghan national who arrived through warm diarrhea brain Biden's broken Operation Allies Welcome program after the disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal. Now, Trump responded by saying he'd halt all migration from third world countries and remove anyone living off taxpayers without contributing. Polls show this is his strongest position ever. Then Omar gets dragged back into the spotlight again. Now, her district in Minneapolis is tied to the largest COVID-related fraud case in history. Feeding Our Future was the name of the program. The FBI charged recently the 78th person in this case, 78 people. Over $250 million taxpayer dollars was stolen. One so-called restaurant, Safari, I call it so-called because it seats 35 people, yet it claimed to have fed 5,000 children a day. Yet nobody can find the 5,000 children who ate it. The owner, guilty, convicted. According to the New York Times, all but 8 of the 86 people charged are Somali. Some money even made its way to Mogadishu. Prosecutors believe that some was taken off the top by Al-Shabaab, a terrorist group linked to Al-Qaeda. The Heritage Foundation uncovered a translated line from a speech Omar gave in Somali. While I am in Congress, no one will take Somalia's sea. Now think about that. A United States Congresswoman telling a foreign crowd she is protecting Somalia's interests while sitting in our government. Well, the ground is certainly shifting under Omar now. Her own voting base is losing faith. Omar Fateh, a socialist mayoral candidate that she supported, lost badly. Analysts say that loss shows frustration in her influence. She even underperformed other Democrats in 2024 by 32,000 votes. Yikes. On social media, Somali voters are complaining about identity politics and corruption. Guys, that's a good sign. It means that they're not as corrupt as Ilhan Omar. Trump isn't waiting, though. He ordered a full review of green cards from 19 nations and began ending TPS, temporary protected status, for Somali nationals in Minnesota. Meanwhile, more indictments are rolling in. More fraud is being uncovered. For the first time in a long time that I can remember, a president is saying immigration failures won't be ignored. Now, here's the thing. A large majority of Americans agree with Trump. Ilhan Omar's future is looking more unstable by the day. The truth is catching up. This is the good news. For years, political elites thought that they could bypass the law, dodge questions, even pretend that everything was just fine. It's the racists who are saying these things about me. Well, not anymore. America's waking up. That's the good news. A new demand for accountability is building, and voters are ready for leadership that puts this country first. America first is what it's all about. If that momentum keeps growing, the future looks a whole lot brighter. So tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I love hearing from you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.